Lucifer. Preview.
Hi, I'm your host, Bob Sainer. If you're looking for answers or new ideas and theories about the paranormal, then come join me on my journey as I try and meet every person and team in the paranormal field, so together we can obtain the answer to the question, can we communicate with those that have passed? So come watch us as we use different methods, theories, and equipment to help us collect as much evidence as possible so together we can all keep moving forward towards the same goal. Follow me as I travel from everywhere and anywhere to investigate. There is no location I will not go.
That is right. I am not late tonight. I am early. Welcome to Paranormal Wavelengths. My name is Bob Saintner, and I'm your host tonight, like every Sunday night. Usually at 9:07, but I'm 1 minute early, so it's 9:06. So I hope everyone had an awesome holiday last weekend, Thanksgiving. I hope everybody made it back. Delay echo. Is anyone else getting a delay echo? Because my equipment has been acting really wacky today. So, hey Yeti, why don't you try and refresh the page? Sometimes it might happen like that. So, thank God nothing against you, Yeti, but thank God it's not me because everything's been acting a little weird tonight. All my equipment here, and I'm hoping it's gonna all stay on. I had to switch a camera out because it was acting all weird. But back to the holidays. I hope everybody made it home safe from Black Friday weekend. I hope everyone's able to move around from all the turkey and ham and everything you ate on Thanksgiving. I was up in Georgia and hey Yeti, come to paranormalwavelengths.com. Don't do the Ustream window. That don't usually work that good. But yeah, I was up in Georgia for a couple days, hanging out with my parents and the kids and everything, and it was awesome up there. It was actually cold. There was no leaves on a tree. It's not like here in Florida where everything's brown and green and just blah, no change of season. So it was really cool being up there. And of course, as an paranormal investigator, I was scouting out some locations in my parents' hometown, Monroe, Georgia, and there's actually a couple cool locations there. And I'll put some pictures up, or I might even have them in my next season, not next season, but next year when we start back up. I might have some pictures in a new intro, standing in front of this old courthouse. It was built in like I think 1883, I think it was. but it had a lot of old buildings in their downtown, so it's pretty cool. But I'll tell you what, I don't feel like I've caught up yet from Thanksgiving. It's like Thanksgiving seems like it's so long ago. I just weird how time's flying by here. Christmas will be upon us, and it's like crazy doing decorations and Christmas shopping. So I'm just hope everyone got back safe and made it back from all their traveling safe from the holidays. But before we go any farther into the show here and talk about some other things here in emails, everyone knows what time it is. It is time for a word from our sponsor, pedalsandsage.com. Check it out.
For thousands of years, cultures from around the world have burned secret plants in a bowl. To drive away negative energies and restore harmony. With these tools, you can smudge. By using the same techniques as ancient traditions once did. So if you need items and tools for your smudging, then please visit pedalsandsage.com. Helping those in need. pedalsandsage.com.
Sending my heart positive energy. Have a great day.
That was pedalsandsage.com. The owner is Pam Richards, and we've got another thing playing here. Sorry about that. The owner is Pam Richards, and if you have any, if you're looking for any smudging packets or sage or different items to help cleanse a house or just make your own environment positive around you, definitely go to pedalsandsage.com. She got some awesome product over there, and she also has other affiliates there. You can go to their websites too, so definitely check it out. Hey Scotty, haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going well and down south there. Got a whole bunch of people in the room tonight that haven't been in a while. Dez, how are you doing tonight? And it's like, woohoo! I guess it's getting close to the holidays. Everyone's coming in, checking it out, seeing what's going on. Speaking of the holidays, with Christmas coming up, everyone knows we're on a countdown here. We have one show left to end season 2, and that's next Sunday, December 11th, and it's going to be a Christmas party here. It's going to be team members are going to be here from Paranormal Wavelengths Investigators. I've been getting emails over the last year asking, Bob, how come you don't spotlight your own team? You spotlight teams all over the place, have them on as guests and that. And I thought, what a way to end the year. Having a big Christmas party, just going to be kind of free for all. People sitting in with me here, talking and that. And just hanging out. I might even, some people that can't make it, I might put them up on the screen behind me. I'll have to see, or just come in with their voice and that talking. Some of my consulting investigators that aren't full-time members, but they do help out a lot for our team. So that's next Sunday will be our Christmas party. And I'm not sure if, I don't think we're going to have alcohol, because I don't know. I don't think electrical equipment and cameras and that work very well with alcohol, especially being live. So it depends. I know I won't be drinking. I can't vouch for everybody else. But it'll be a good time. And as you know, in, about 15 minutes here, we're going to have Christopher St. Booth on. I was just talking to him a little earlier because I was having some issues with Skype and that, but we got it all fixed. And he's real anxious to come on and talk with everyone. And remember, if you have questions, hit me up in the chat room. PWI Michelle in the chat room is Michelle Bauer. She's my moderator. And if you put a question in the chat room, she'll hit me up with a question. So I was just talking with Christopher, and he said, hey, Ask whatever you guys want. If there's something you've always wanted to know about Christopher St. Booth and what they do over at Spook TV, then ask away. Don't be shy. 2 words, sippy cup. Oh, yeah. I kind of had a little bit of a... My throat's a little scratchy, so I don't usually have a drink, but it's my Ninja G.I. Joe cup. But, yeah, I was going to wear my other shirt saying I am a trained ninja, but I wore my little ice cream guys. Cool, cold chillin'. I'm going to be getting a shirt for, well, I know I'm already going to get it for Christmas, and it's a really funny shirt, and it's got Bob on it, so I'll wear that next year to start the season out. But funny thing is, don't mind me, I'm a little bloggy tonight, a little groggy. But Thursday, I was invited to a friend's house of mine, TJ. He has, I think it's every first Thursday of the month, he has classes at his house. Spiritual classes. One of the classes was a workshop with crystals. One was trying to meditate and get in touch with your spirit guides. And this Thursday, he had invited me out to come out and talk about paranormal investigating, which I'm going to tell you, it was freaking fun as hell. The crowd that came out were all awesome people, had great questions. And like I always say, I was telling them, like 2 weeks ago, I was talking about the one email I was asking about, I don't know if I should ask questions. Remember what I said? There is no stupid questions. I think the dumb part is not asking the questions. And I was telling them, hey, ask whatever you want. And these people are very, very passionate and very interested in the paranormal, asking a lot of questions. So it looks like after the holidays, we might be making another run at the cemetery down the road from me here, where we keep seeing this wild boar. I'm telling you, this time I'm going to get a picture of this boar because we've seen it twice. We've been out there twice, and we've seen it. I didn't see it the first time. The second time I saw it clear as day. I think the third time will be the charm. I'll get a picture of this thing. It's just crazy that this wild boar is out there because, yeah, I want fresh ham for Christmas. But I'm telling you, this place should not have a wild boar in it. There's one little patch of woods. I mean, it's not even maybe 30 feet wide, like going deep, maybe 50 feet deep and maybe 50 feet wide, and then it's all industrial. I just don't understand why this boar is hanging out there. But this group of people that I did this presentation for, talked about paranormal investigating, I showed them some of the equipment we use, told them some of the do's and don'ts of investigating, because some of the people were talking about investigating their own house, using recorders and that, and I tried explaining to them, which I've gotten emails here asking, why can't you investigate your own house? This is just my opinion, and it's just I've heard people experience this event. People that investigate their own houses, this is my opinion, you're setting yourself up for something bad because, yeah, it's fun at first. You might get some contact, get some EVPs and that. But the thing is, you dwell there. When me and my team go in, or any of my colleagues' teams go into a location, a residential, and do an investigation, they leave. Yeah, a couple days, maybe a week after they're gone, activity might be heightened at the location. But then after a week or so, it'll die down because we're not there anymore asking questions. And, yeah, never bring your... Okay. I'm back. Can you hear me? Oh, crap. Hold on. 12-minute. All right, can you hear me? I'm trying to rebroadcast. Holy crap. Holy crap, can you hear me? I train and investigate in my own home, but that is what I do. I am a ghost hunter. Hey, can you guys hear me? Is it broadcasting? Oh, my Lord. Nope, it's not. Can you hear me? I will do. Yes, yes. Hey, you're back. All right. Sorry, but I told you stuff was acting weird tonight, and I'm hoping it's not gonna do it anymore. But let me see here. I'm trying to see. I can't see myself in the chat room, but most of us, it's not showing me. Most of us are, but things can happen. Yeah, if you're talking about the investigating, at least in Pensacola, you did well in person. Hey, hey Donna, how you doing tonight? I see you made it. So, all right, everyone can see me and hear me. But yeah, I told you this equipment was acting weird tonight. I'm just hoping it'll stay going. I got one show left, and it's like the whole season had been going pretty good. I don't know if my kids got a virus on here or what, but hopefully we can keep plugging along here. But yeah, it's just my opinion, and I don't know. I just heard so many different stories of people that investigated their own house, and it just didn't turn out good because it just became a party at their house. More and more spirits started coming. It became like a beacon in the dark. That light that they're going to, they're like, hey, this person's trying to communicate with them. And I know Steven in there was saying he does it at his house. Do you feel that you're getting more and more activity at your house, Steven? Like it's piling up? Oh, I didn't pick on you that bad. I have to pick on you, Donna, because I'm short, and when people are shorter than me, I'm like so happy that I'm taller. But yeah, it's just my opinion. If it's going okay for you, just be careful, Steven, and anyone that's doing it, because I've heard a lot of different stories of people turning out bad because things you don't want in your house start showing up, and it's very hard to get rid of them then because you've kind of like almost opened a portal at your house because you don't ever leave it. You're always coming back. You don't ever take a break, really. So that's just my opinion there, Stephen. Oh, yeah, you know what, Scotty? The reason I told Steve and Tango that is, Scotty in the chat room, she's about, Scotty, you're about 6'2", I think. And we met Steve and Tango at Spooky Empire. And the first thing Scotty says is, geez, Steve, I thought you'd be taller in person. I was like, I just look like, really? And I was like, well, Scotty says that to everyone because she's taller than everyone. And I tried playing it off because I was just, I thought it was funny. But never mess with negative energy. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Donna. Negative energy and just more and more things can pile on at your house because you're pretty much, like I said, opening something that you shouldn't be. And like Donna was saying, it can happen where a negative energy gets there, the vortex gets bigger to where you can't close it. I mean, you might stop investigating and it still will keep going. But, and, okay. I got little ones running around. Go that way. See, this is what happens with the Christmas holidays. It just gets crazy around here. But, yeah, that's what I'm just trying to say. I know I've been blah, blah, blah about it, but it's just my opinion. Some of the other emails we've been getting here, people have been asking, why I haven't shown episode of Investigating a Location. I showed a couple over the last year, 2 years now, because we're almost done. And I always tell people, it's very hard to get evidence, like enough evidence to edit it down to an hour show. And they're just like, I can't believe you can't get enough evidence at different locations. And it's just weird because when we go over evidence, if I have a piece of evidence and there's too many ifs, like what if it's this, what if it's that, or what if this caused the noise, if I have too many ifs in the equation, I just toss the evidence out. And a lot of locations, it just, you don't get it. It's not like TV. A lot of stuff you see on TV nowadays is entertainment, and they also do 10-hour investigations, they say, where, we go into locations, we're lucky to get 4 hours, 5 hours in commercial locations sometimes, because a lot of those people don't want to stay till 5, 6 in the morning unless you're, on a big network TV station. So, to people asking, I've got a couple locations set up for next year to go investigate. I know I'm going to try and get back into the Green Cove Springs jail that we did our event at a few weeks back, because that place is awesome, the courthouse and the jail and that. I definitely want to get in there with my team. And oh yes, I'm not investigating with Michelle Vance. She gets all the good EVPs, the ghost sex, and all the other weird stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping next season to get a couple locations filmed and be able to edit them down and broadcast them on here. I know it's been a while. People have been asking, but it will happen if they come. Or what is it? I don't know. It's just like brain farts tonight. But to everyone out there, next season, it might be a little different. I'm going to change up a little stuff. If anybody has suggestions, hit me up on Facebook. I'm going to put a little post out there. If there's anything you want to see different on the show, different segments, I know I'm going to bring back the paranormal main events. I'm not doing it tonight because it's kind of winding down with the holidays. There's not a lot of events going on. And I know there's some next season in 2012. There's a bunch of events going to be going on that I really wanted to get on a couple of them, but I'm kind of busy on my own with my daughter's sweet 16th birthday coming up. So one of them I couldn't get to. It was the Stanley Hotel in Colorado through Demented Entertainment. That looks really cool. They got a lot of cool people going to be out there. A lot of awesome guests. And just the location itself to investigate is going to be cool. But I know I'm definitely going to bring back the paranormal main events. And, of course, our sponsor will be back, pedalsandsage.com. If there's any other segments you want me to do, hit me up. And if there's any guest, hit me up on Facebook or at paranormalwavelengths@yahoo.com. And remember, if you have a suggestion for a guest, it don't have to be someone from one of the big networks. If you know a team or a sensitive or psychic that you know that you're good friends with and you think they have some information or something to help educate people in the paranormal field, hit me up definitely. I love having tons of different guests on. It doesn't matter who you are. And honestly, right now, I've almost got January and into February going. I'll announce next week some of the guests already that have signed up to come hang out with me here on Paranormal Wavelengths. So I'm not going to babble any more here because we're going to get Christopher St. Booth on here in just a minute. But before we get him on, I wanted to play his promo. We're going to talk to him about Children of the Grave 2 that's going to be coming out here. I think it's coming out here in December. I'll ask him when he's on here. I think it's next week it's going to be coming out. And we going to ask him a bunch of questions. I got a lot of different things to ask him because I had a chance to talk with him at Pensacola. And I was really amazed at some of the things and some of the ways him and his brother do things with their Spook TV. And I'll ask some of the questions when they get on here. But first we're going to play the promo for Children of the Grave 2. And remember, when I get Christopher on here, don't be shy. Ask any questions you want.
Like being scared this Halloween, we may have the place you're looking for.
That's exactly right. One building in Coles County that's nearly 100 years old is said by many to be haunted.
Next, it's going to be featured featured on the Sci-Fi Channel, and documentary filmmakers, the Booth brothers, stayed in the so-called haunted house and they investigated.
Some of the patients, well, they called them inmates, and they would diagnose them with things, and they called them natural born full.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Let me make sure everyone can hear you. I was still playing. I actually pressed on your video, your promo for Children of the Grave 2 again. Everyone likes it so much, I just wanted to play again. Hey, everyone here, Christopher, okay?
Hello, everybody.
Everyone, hey, you got the green light, Christopher.
That's a good thing. I hate to get the red light. I hate to stop. Stopping's no fun. Red lights do come in handy, though.
Nah, I'm that type of person, too. I like to just keep on the go. I don't like hitting those red lights either. Hey, where are you at right now? Are you up north in St. Louis, is it? Can you hear me? See
We're
it.
actually finishing filming some of the last pieces of Children of the Grave 2, and also editing it and scoring it. I've been working this weekend before we take Christmas off. I get to see my son, which is beautiful, my 4-year-old boy. I haven't seen him for 7 months, so I get to keep him for 3 weeks at Christmas, and I'm really looking forward to that. And so we're just finishing Children of the Grave 2 up here.
That's going to be awesome Christmas, hanging out with your son and that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. He's got his suitcase packed already by the door waiting for me, so.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking, I was telling everyone, next Sunday is my last show, and then I'm taking off for the holidays, too, to hang out with the family and just kind of relax and take a break.
I don't know if you can relax when you do the vacation with the family. I think it seems to be a little more stressful than relaxing, but I'm looking forward to it because I get my little boy and we're going to go tear the world apart, so it's going to be fun.
Isn't it awesome when they're at that age at Christmas time?
Oh, it is, because, I mean, he already gave me a phone book of what he wants for Christmas, so we'll have to narrow it down. I mean, you know, we'll see what goes on, but mostly this is being together is my Christmas present.
Yeah, I've got 4 kids, and my kids have been giving me these huge lists. It's like never-ending trying to shop. I've been actually shopping since June. It's like you got to start early in my family.
Not me. I wait till the last minute. I'm like one of those people that aren't in touch with reality. And then when I go in there, I realize everything is sold out. So I don't try to get pressured by all the, you know, the Black Friday sales and all that because I can't deal with that. I just do it when I can, you know, and don't try to get involved and all that because I think we kind of live in an unreal world as it is being in the entertainment business. We're always in a surreal world, so it's kind of extra stressful when we get involved in the reality part of it. So, and after all, it is really Jesus' day anyway, you know, so I'm focused on that too.
No, I know. I tried going out. I went out Black Friday just to see what was going on, and I swear I went to the one Walmart. I was up in Georgia visiting my parents for Thanksgiving, and I went in this Walmart, and you couldn't even move anywhere. There were so many people, and all I thought was, if there was a fire, we'd all be dead because no one would be able to get out of the place. You know, it was just crazy. Now, you said you were you're finishing up filming Children of the Grave 2, right?
Yeah, we're a little behind schedule because I was in Los Angeles, I think it was a month ago, but right before Thanksgiving I had to meet with Sci-Fi and Chiller at the American Film Market because they've offered, they want us to do a reality show for them starting next year. So I went there to see what the guidelines were and to work out the details of them following us around, us filming things. So it's like us being filmed by us being filmed. So it's kind of an interesting concept, but unfortunately we have to start dealing with the reality show, and so we got a little behind schedule with Children of the Grave too, and then also the fact that I find it more important to see my son than to put another show out at this time because my son needs his dad really bad, and I need him. So we're going to actually release Children of the Grave, unfortunately, now in January instead of December because we feel the show will be better. We also picked up some new evidence. We did filmed a quick shoot in Ohio and picked up some incredible evidence and also some virgin type asylums that nobody's been in. That we want to put that in the show as well. So we're postponing it a few weeks. So it'll be in the middle of January when it actually comes out.
Well, definitely let me know or put banners up on your Facebook or website, and I'll post it on when I come back in January. Start back up. I'll definitely let people know.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, all our shows end up either on Sci-Fi or Chiller. We just signed a new deal with Chiller that we're making content from that for them now. Chiller is owned by NBC, which also owns Sci-Fi. So we're working hand in hand with both of them with what our stuff does. But we're also launching a brand new VOD channel next year, Spook TV Video on Demand. So you can actually get to see our stuff, stream it like everybody else is doing. So you don't have to you don't necessarily have to buy the DVD unless you want to see the uncut stuff, but we're actually streaming a lot of new content, original content, on our own websites next year as well. So that'll be another big thing that we're working on. We're working on quite a few things for the 2012.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like real busy.
Yeah, we never stop, and maybe we haven't had a vacation for about 7 years. We've just gone from film to film to film to film, and then now we're doing TV reality show now. They want to put a little bit more drama in it than we want to put in it, unfortunately. They want to follow, us around. They want to film Gabriel, seeing his dad for the first time, that kind of stuff. That gets a little personal for me, so I'm not really sure if that works for me. Unfortunately, all reality shows, even including the paranormal ones, they want the drama. And God, there's enough drama already in the paranormal business without putting any more in it. But you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I definitely know what you mean. I mean, you probably got more than I do. But, yeah, it just seems like a lot of these shows nowadays, they want to focus more on drama and just the entertainment part instead of trying to help educate people in the paranormal field that are just starting out.
Well, yes and no. I mean, they gave us this show because they actually said that they loved our emotion and human interest in our stuff, and most ghost hunting shows are skeptics and debunkers, and also falsified evidence now.
Yeah.
And our stuff is truly about the story and about the people it affects. And if we get evidence along the way, it gets a part of our show. But we go after the story first. We don't care if it's haunted. We want to know why it's haunted and if we can help and how we can fix it. So they liked that idea because there was not a lot of emotion in what the shows are going on television. It's a little too exploitive, a little too provoking, a little too, silly, like, come up and see my ghost, kind of thing. It's not it's not what really is going on. It's about caring. And I think that's why they liked what we were doing, because I guess we have a lot of emotion and we care about what we do.
Well, that's something that drew me into you and your brother's work is you get deep into the story and the history of the location first. and then you start bringing up some of the evidence. I like that angle because it drew me in to the Children of the Grave, the history in that, and some of the horrific things that happened there. And then all of a sudden you started getting some evidence and having people doing interviews, and it was kind of like, oh no way, I can't believe you caught that. It goes with the history and the events you were talking about, and I think that's what.
Well, it's a part of the gig, It's like meeting somebody and listening to them talk instead of just telling what you want to do, because basically most of these shows about them being stars and it's got nothing to do with what they're supposed to do. It's like when Rock of Love was on, I just wanted Bret Michaels to do some music, and every fourth show he'd do a song. It's like, well, people that you see on reality shows, you tune in because of who they are, and you want to see what they do, and then of course you want to see what goes on in their life. But it seems all these reality shows to forget about who they are, and they just show you what's on in their life, but necessarily not what their passion is. And the passion for us is to, like, we walk and see things very differently when we put our shows together. I was like walking in the airport. I was in Oklahoma City in Thanksgiving, and I'm walking around and I'm seeing things from an artist's point of view, from an emotional side point of view, and then I'm kind of like logging that down to help tell a very good story that helps connect with people, and not like I'm saying, hey, look at me, and that's what all those other shows are doing. It's like, look at me, and it's not what it's about. It's about look at you.
Do you think some of these shows nowadays, we don't name anybody, don't you get the feeling like they're almost scripted? Like, this happens now, these two investigators, they hit something, then the next two investigators. It just seems more scripted now when they're supposed to be reality.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Bob, I don't know whatever you thought they weren't. I mean, reality shows are scripted. Every one of them. Every reality show is scripted. There's no such thing as an unscripted reality show. So
they try and sell it like that.
Even the one we are doing has to be somewhat scripted, meaning that they reenact your life. You don't think the cameras really follow you around and you get involved in, say, a fight with an agent or with somebody, and it actually it's reenacted because the cameras cannot be there at the right time. Our documentaries are 100% unscripted. When we shoot our shows, they're 100% unscripted. We arrive and we start filming. Anybody that's filmed with us will know that we have started filming the minute we get out of even in the car, pulling up, we film meeting people, we film everything goes on, and it's completely unscripted. And it only gets scripted as an edit list when we take it into the editing bay, because then we say we pick the best part and put it into the show, or the parts we feel that our viewers will find fascinating.
See, I like that.
Learning.
It seems more natural then, because you just running the cameras full time, and then you pick out what's the good scenes or what you feel is more personal or more informative. And I think it's the way a lot of them do.
I agree. I think we tell real stories about real people. You guys are the heroes, and you guys are the stars. Anybody else is playing the opposite way is, if you want to go ahead and watch them make idiots out of themselves and go for it, might as well watch it. I think the Kardashians could do a great paranormal show. It's about as fruity as all the other ones to me, So I'm actually reading your chat board, and I could see someone wanted a question. So, Bob, I don't know if you want me to answer this question.
Well, I got a couple for you. Rich Valdez wanted to give you a shout out to his brother from another mother, Bodyguard.
And he's great. He's my bodyguard. He takes care of me, and he steals my rings.
Yes. Well, hey, I saw you stealing some from him, looking at his jewelry at Pensacola. So.
Definitely.
Now, Donna Lee, she wants to know how Philip and Ivana are doing in Missouri.
Doing where?
In Missouri.
They're doing fine. They're doing great. They just renewed their vows, and everything's great, and they're very much in love and very well connected, and they're fine. So yeah, it's cold though in St. Louis.
I bet. I'm down here in Florida, down more south from Pensacola, where I met you,
Mm.
and it's still.
Yeah.
I think it was like in the low 80s today. I'd rather get it a little cold, get more of a seasonal feel.
You bastard. It's like 38 now, right now, but it's getting lower and lower and lower and lower.
I was in shorts and a tank top today doing Christmas lights outside.
So was I.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that, you know. I'm going to wear thermals. I put my request into Santa Claus. I want thermals underwear for Christmas. So
Now, another question from the chat room. Des wants to know if either you or your brother are sensitive in any way.
I think that everybody's sensitive. It's the level of sensitivity, and I think artists like like painters, writers, poets, actors, musicians, whatever it may be, are more sensitive because they have to be in touch with the craft of putting their pain down on paper or in a song or in a painting, so to speak, and put it out, basically an altar, because the best way to act is not to act. So you have to translate that passion. So being that passionate about an art form makes you even more super sensitive. But everybody really is sensitive, and people that are handicapped are more sensitive because they need to work on their other senses to make up for what possibly they don't have. So everybody's sensitive to a degree of sensitivity, and of course practice and how much you want to really take it to the fact that you really can get in touch with somebody when you have to be really much quite a believer and also very much into the an open mind.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I think everyone's sensitive in some way, but like you were saying, everyone's on different levels. Just like you were saying, different musicians, they're on different levels of playing the guitar, sports player, sport athletes. So I feel everyone's sensitive in some way. Some people can hear voices, see images. I'm sensitive in a way. I see things ahead of time. I get images and I can find things, but I don't get messages like a friend of mine. She can get messages and see spirits in that. So honestly, it all depends how you open yourself.
Pain, and then and if you're really sensitive and being an empath as well, oh my God, it could take you down, and it's hard to keep picking yourself back up. So I think that's the skyline of being a Dalai Lama compassionate person. It's the concept of Buddhism, and then it's just feeling a lot of compassion.
We got another question from the chat room. Stephen White would like to know what your impression of Ashmore Estate was, and how was it working with, I think, Julie again? Juli or July?
She was great. She's very dedicated what she does, and she helped us out a lot on the Possessed, and she helped us a lot on the Ashmore Estate footage, and everything she does. She's a very, very great person. She's very into what she does. Ashmore Estate is very creepy, and it's very has a lot of oppression in it. We did not find demonic activity in it like every other ghost show finds in every location they go in. But I don't think we found demonic entities in pretty much everything we found, except for possibly there was darkness in the Exorcist house that we did, and darkness in some of the other places. But actually naming demonic entities, I don't know. I think that is more of a sales pitch than anything. It's funny because there seems to be more demonologists more than there are demons nowadays. So I'm not sure that's going to work out.
Yeah, I know. A friend of mine put on Facebook, it seems like it's the trend right now, like a fashion trend to get into demonology. I know people that are in demonology, but they've been in it for like 20 years and been very professional in it. But it seems like every person now just wants to get into it. It seems like the fad right now.
Well, I think they confuse. Don't confuse dark energy with demonic energy.
Yeah.
You understand? Energy is the same. Okay. Energy is exactly. It is unbiased. It's the same. It's whether it turns bad or good, and a lot of that's got to do with the person that interprets it too. You see, because all energy is completely unbiased when it enters in the room, and then it takes a bad toll or a good toll, feeding off of what you possibly can read or know. And the thing is, that energy can be also just depression, sadness, desperation, tragic, whether it be dying from a disease or being the worst kind, being murdered or, such like that. So, people that are finding demonic entities and all that are running around cookie to say there's a demonic entity in here. That's pretty much garbage. It really is.
No, that's cool. That's a cool way. I've heard that about the energy, the different energies, the negative and positive, and I think the same way too. It's if you go into a location and you've already got a mindset of something negative is going to be there, you're putting negative energy into it already. Most likely, that's what you'll receive then.
Check it out. A Ouija board can deliver whatever you want. Basically, if you're looking for good or bad, you pretty much get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So basically, if I say, "Hey, Bob," you're going to turn and listen to me because you heard your name. So if I go out and call a demon's name, which you're not supposed to do, by the way, there are certain names that are, there are names of demons, and you can find these names in many demonology books and witch books and devil books, all that kind of stuff. If you go ahead and start saying the name, there could be a good chance that somebody's going to listen, and they're going to come back and going to give you something you don't really want. So you're not really supposed to dwell in the first place. If you do get called into it, like we get many cases where people say there's, a demon raping somebody, molesting somebody, or taking somebody over, then you really need to do a thorough research and ask the correct questions, but not feeding it more into that zone. Because first of all, the dark energy or devil or demonic type situation, first thing they want is they're narcissists. So you know what that means? They feed off negative energy.
Yep.
They get off of pain. So you're feeding it now. You're feeding that hunger. So you want to make them stop so you don't buy into it. You know, and too many people are buying into it. And unfortunately, on television, they're buying into only one thing, is because they think that, this is the Spice Girls of 2011. This is the new fad. This is the Lady Gaga. Everybody wants this one this year. They want demons, and they're all jumping all over it. And we're not supposed to be doing that. This is serious stuff that we're involved in. It's not a commercial, marketable thing, It's not like we're going to get, the demon doll by Mattel, or, it's not going to be Bobby Cannon, the devil doll,
Hey, you never know. That might be coming.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. It'll be Bobby the Paranormal Ghost Hunter, And the thing is, it's silly because you're dealing with people that have leftover and lost energy, and you're making a complete humiliation out of it. I mean, I've said that at many conferences and many radio shows that I'm not necessarily proud to use the word paranormal in the term that we know, because there have been so many misuse of the word paranormal that it makes you look exactly like the circus show. Like, step up, and this is my freak show. Come on, step right down. Come see my ghost.
Yep.
And it's not like that. It's supposed to be sensitive. It's supposed to be a caring situation where people are, need closure and they need help.
I've actually been trying to tell people, I think a lot of investigators, they need to put the human back into your investigating. I see a lot of teams out there, they act like they're hunting an animal. This was a person that was a human, and now they're in spiritual form. Treat them like you would treat a human, a live person. Treat them with respect.
Well, we had this thing in was it Pensacola? Bob, weren't you there?
Yes.
When we did the whole round table discussion,
Yes.
do you remember?
Yep.
And it got heated.
Yes.
Remember it got heated there because some people said, Ouija board did this, and some people said, no, it's not the Ouija board, it's anything you do. And then it's getting all this stuff, and then people start, voodoo cursing and all this sort of stuff. And the main thing was coming up that why do you provoke? First of all, if you're provoking a demon or a dark energy of sorts, they're going to come out anyway because they're narcissism. Narcissism understand that they're self-serving and they're exhibitionists, and they're going to come out and want to show themselves anyway. So you don't really need to provoke those guys. And the last people you want to provoke is a child that is hiding.
Yeah.
A child spirit is hiding, and there's been a lot of shows that do not make the discrepancy between who they're calling out. Whether they say, "Oh, come on, get me. I'm just a piece of meat, man. Come on, get me. Come and be on my TV show. You're a freak. You're an ugly-looking dog thing, or whatever." And you go like, "Well, I don't know what you found here, but what we found is a burned child spirit that was burned alive. And this is how you talk to them." And this is, the same places we do, a lot of the shows on TV had done, and they had, claimed demonic entities on their places, and we never found anything like that. All we found, and evidence and archived newspapers and graves proved that there were a school that was burned down before, and there were children that had burned alive. That's all we found. And that was a tender moment. We tried to help make sure they were moved on, not provoke them.
Yeah, that's a big thing nowadays. I know my team and some of my colleagues, I have people on my team, if we go in a location and a spirit is asking for help, we get a EVP, or the lady that's on my team that is sensitive, she gets a message that it's trying to pass over. I do have people on my team that can help them. And I think that's part of the thing people are missing nowadays too, is helping. You're not just trying to help the locations you're in or residentials. You also have the obligation to help the spirits too if they're asking for help. And a lot of people
I would help anybody. I would help anybody that would help me or would not even dare ask for help. If you truly have compassion in life, you truly have compassion in afterlife. Like I said in Pensacola, if you're so into these TV shows, they're so into themselves. They're so into their egos and their steroids and the way they look and their hairdo and all this shit, and they go out there and they can't even communicate with a real person. Why do you think they're going to be able to communicate with a person that's not living when they can't communicate with people that is? And I don't, it's just like going to a foreign country and then getting an EVP of a ghost speaking in English.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
We've got EVPs of old Germans, and when we go to locations that had German spirits in it, where they were soldiers or whatever, they actually spoke in old German, where, all these TV shows are going overseas, and they get English back, like, "Hey, Bob, how you doing?" I'm going like, well, they're from Europe, then they're going to, also, like, instantly, I get it. Go speak the international language, I get it.
Even though English wasn't back then.
What you are in death is what you are in life is what you are in death. You know what I mean? It doesn't change. You don't become a superhero and speak. You don't take Rosetta Stone and speak 10 languages when you die.
They're not taking classes on the other side for English and that, so they can translate to us easier.
Well, exactly. They're putting into a translator, but we did have our EVPs translated from Old German, and they were very scary. And the Queen Mary is one of the truly one. One is a truly haunted place. It's down on the deck where they had chained up the German soldiers. Some of the EVPs actually are real time. You can actually hear them too, and it's an old German murmur with old German accent that comes out of them. That's when you get really excited. When your evidence matches your fact.
Yeah,
then you get really excited.
I get like that too. If we're at a location and we get an EVP that matches the history of the location or an event that happened there, I think that's one of the coolest evidence you get, because you got confirmation from actual something historic that happened there,
And what really feels good, Bob, is when now you're piecing this great puzzle together, and you're out on the job of compassion. You're out on the job to help somebody find a better way. It's like waiting in the DMV line. You want to get them out. You want to get them out of that long limbo line. And when you feel good and you piece it together, you go like, oh my God, like in the movie The Possessed we did. You were right. People were calling you a devil. There was this devil girl that had possessed this other girl, and she really wasn't the devil. She was a good spirit trying to help the other girl get over her same problems that she had. But meanwhile, the whole town was literally hanging her up and calling her a devil because she was possessed by another girl, but that girl actually was there to help. And when we cleared up the situation, that she truly was an angel, that was because she was helping to get over her sickness. She was helping to get over her psychiatric problems that she had with what her father may have done to her, or actually were proven to done with her. Then we said, you're a good person. You're not a bad person. And then you felt that light of closure, and then that spirit actually moved on. Then you feel really good about yourself, and you feel really good about what you did, and you feel really good about presenting that kind of achievement to a world that seems to be displaying nothing but humility, and put you in stocks in the stockyard there and throw apples at you and laugh at you.
See, I think
I don't, not into that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome though. Doing. I just think a lot of people are missing out. I don't know why people want to look more for the negative and the dark side than the positive. I mean, why would you rather look for something demonic than an angel that could maybe give you a message and help you, or I don't know. It's just
well,
weird.
Because the news, it jumps pretty much on negativity as much as AOL will pretty much tell you, how everybody's getting divorced and who cheated compared to who is happily married and who is doing great things in the world. The mind, if you talk to any psychiatrist, the mind's default is negative. So every day that you wake up, you pretty much have, a mission to fight your negative impulses when you wake up and stay positive, because the mind is definitely defaults on a more of a negative side. So it's just important that you go out of your way and just. That's why you need faith. That's why you need something to believe in, whether it's, whatever you believe in, as long as it's good, you're going to make it, If you believe in bad, I think you pretty much know where you're heading.
Yeah, I don't know. I must be wired different. I don't know. I always look at the positive side. Even when something bad happens, I try and look at the positive in things, because I just feel, why dwell on the negative? Something happens for a reason, even if it's bad. There's got to be something down the road that's why this happened. It's putting you in a different path on your journey of life.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's in breakups. We all have rough relationships at times, and we all have financial problems and health problems. And we hope that we get through that, and we hope that whatever the next path is leading us to, that it's what where we're meant to go, and what we're supposed to do, and we just have to have more faith in what we're having.
Definitely.
And that's what we need to do.
Now, I have a couple more questions from the chat room. I was letting them build up a little. Donna Lee asked another question, and anyone in the chat room is wondering, they haven't seen Donna Lee in the chat room. This is the first night she's been in. She actually hung out with us in Pensacola, and if I'm not mistaken, her son is on the Haunted Collector. I'm not sure about that, Donna, but she was wondering, what made you why did you and your brother get into doing documentaries about the paranormal, or about the different locations you go to?
Well, we make movies, and we still make movies, and we've been in the record business for a long time too. We were making a movie for Sony, and we were filming at Waverly Sanatorium. We were making a horror movie then. While we were filming it, real paranormal stuff happened. So we were fascinated with that. We started seeing shadows and blurs, and got the cold spots and all that stuff that happened. And we never really knew about any of that. Of course, Keith Age was the main dude at Waverly at the time, and he helped us understand that. And I said, well, what we need to do is we need to get another crew down and film us filming a movie, a horror movie in a real haunted place. And so Sony went ahead and had commissioned that movie, which was Death Tunnel. And then the documentary, I came back to the American film market just overwhelmed and spiritually awake to the paranormal, to the other side. And I was just like going on about it, and Sci-Fi was in the room, and they go, I love it, let's put this on the air. And so they got spooked to go to Waverly Sanatorium. At that point, they started, wanted us to keep doing it and keep doing shows for them. And then that's where it led us to it, is that we got fascinated in it. We were touched to it. And we also felt that we could put more compassion in some of the documentaries than we were getting in the film scripts that we were doing. We like to tell underdog stories and tell good inspiration. So there we go.
Sorry. I've got a big. I've got a Great Pyrenees. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, I do.
He's an awesome dog. Someone was kind of abusing him and getting rid of him, so we took him in, and he's an awesome dog. And it sounded like someone was outside banging, so he's a good watchdog.
Well, you could use one.
Yeah,
you could use a good watchdog.
He's an awesome dog. He's huge, but he's like the most gentle, and he thinks he's a little lap dog. He tries sitting on your lap. He's like the size of a Great Dane, and it's like he's got this big butt sitting on you, and you're like, come on, really? Now, when you were talking about how Sci-Fi was there, and like all the people were in the room and they watched your documentary, we talked about this in Pensacola. You're not actually, are you signed with Sci-Fi? You have all creative rights to your projects, right?
We licensed Chiller. We just licensed all our shows to Chiller now. So next year you'll start seeing Spooked, The Possessed, Chiller in the Grave, and those shows on Chiller Channel. And Sci-Fi still has The Possessed, and then the Haunted Boy Soulcatcher are heading that direction. But also at this point, we're also Discovery now is going to be picking up some of the other titles. We have a tendency to want to keep growing. So, and also, we don't really get, what's the word, edited with what we do. We don't really get told what to do.
See, I think that's cool.
Recently things are changing because there are conglomerate corporations buying all the companies. So they want a little more control. And this is where the reality show actually came in, is that they were very fascinated with, we actually live the real life of what we do. I mean, we don't turn it off, you know. We go out and we film, we come back and piece it together, and then we constantly get research and we get calls and we talk about all this paranormal stuff pretty much 24/7. We live in a haunted, we have a studio at a haunted place in St. Louis right now, so we actually have a studio set up in a big kind of, you know, old 1900 old mansion. So, I mean, we really live the lifestyle. I mean, it's 24/7.
See, that's cool.
So, but what we don't like to be controlled, and who likes to be told what to do, especially if it starts to make you a product, not what you believe in. We believe, you know, very much like the Pink Floyd albums. They're very deep and they're very well thought of, and they take time to make, and there's a lot of passion in them, whether it's the music, the dialogue, the interviews, footage, everything, the art form as well as the reality expression. That's important to us. We don't just go out and make a piece of junk. I can't do that. We never could do that.
See, that's what I think's awesome about you and your brother doing, having control like that. That's kind of why, like, my show here, I don't go through a network. I went through a couple different networks, which I don't name people, but they wanted to, like you said, these big corporations or networks like on the internet, they want to control you and say who you can, like for me, they want to tell me who I could or couldn't interview. And my show is about interviewing everybody in the paranormal, people that are on Sci-Fi, people like you that do documentaries, people like me that just are passionate about the paranormal, that are out investigating. And I want to investigate, or I want to talk with everyone because I'm trying to educate myself and help educate other people of the paranormal and different ways people investigate. And
well, I think you need to draw a line of, are you like an orthodox doctor, or are you just one that just will sell medicine and give medicine to anybody that gives you money? And then there is kind of like, even thieves have rules, you know, they have codes. Pirates have ethic codes, you know, everybody has rules. But when it comes to like reality television, it's all those rules are thrown out. It's like, how much does it cost? How much are you going to pay me to make a fool out of myself? You know, it's like with divorce court. You know, who in their right mind would go up there and be actually completely completely humiliated. And then you go back and say, well, I don't care. I got paid. My court case is free, and I got paid a couple $100, whatever. I'm on the Jerry Springer show, and
Yeah.
because, I did all this crazy stuff, and I'm going like, wow, don't you have a soul? Don't you have something that you believe in? It's something that, Jesus wouldn't go on a reality show. I mean, just saying. You know what I mean?
I was just going to say about the Jerry Springer. It's like, don't you love it? Those people come on there, and they seem so surprised when something happens that their loved, the one they loved or married to has been cheating on them, or someone's like, you're on Jerry Springer, man.
I know, and it's crazy. So that's why in our shows we give people the utmost respect, whether they're victims or villains or whatever it may be, paranormal, unparanormal, whatever, and we just try to, give them the best light they can and tell their story and tell it with compassion.
It seems like a lot of people lose that concept of respect and common courtesy when you're out investigating.
Trying to do, and that's tell a good story and inspire people.
Yeah, and that's what I genuinely like about you and your brother's movies. It's just you're just telling a story, and like you said, you're not the star of it. The people in it that are investigators and telling their stories, and you're really trying to get a story out of horrific events that happen at this place, and so many souls are still trapped there.
And so many things are said, like in Children of the Grave 2, I'll give you a quick snippet of talking about it. We do the Lemp Mansion, and we go into the concept of there was supposed to be a boy that was locked up in the attic. Your viewers should know this, Zeke, the monkey-faced boy, and he was basically a little boy that had Down syndrome, and he was supposedly locked up in an attic because he was hidden because of his looks. And we went there and investigated, and we got some really incredible evidence that's just going to blow you away of what we found in the Lemp Mansion. But the main thing is we wanted that story to be basically telling you a story of what it's like for people being bullied and people being picked on. So we used that story of a boy being locked in the attic to prove a point, to help show you what it's being like to be picked on and what kind of suicide can cause. It's happening all the time on Facebook even, being picked on. And then we actually had a boy in Kentucky that had a disease, that he was deformed, and he actually tells the story of what Zeke would have felt like, the monkey-faced boy, because he has a problem himself. And it's very touching, to see somebody that is in that position tell you what it's like to be picked on. And it's very powerful, and that helps give the ghost a voice.
And people don't realize, like me and my wife, we work with special need adults and kids, kids with autism, and like you were saying, not kids, but adults with Down syndrome and that. And back in the day, people that were different like that, they were like totally abused. And I mean, even when I was a kid, people that were Down syndrome, autism and that, they were put onto facilities like college campuses. They weren't allowed to be out in the community, and that was only back in the 80s. And just now, they're allowed to be out in the community. They have they live in group homes now. And
like the thing, like our show, The Possessed, it touches that. I don't know if you've seen it, but it goes into a museum of psychology of mental health. And we go in there, and inside that museum, they have all the equipment that they used to use in the 18th century to cast out demonic spirits. Because if you were mental or you were just an outcast, they would figure you had the devil inside you, and they put you in an asylum, whether it's in cold vats of water for over 18 hours or scalding you. And basically, if you didn't have the devil inside you when you got in, you had the devil inside you when you got out, if you got out.
Yeah, you were pretty messed
up. You were tortured and forced into becoming anything they wanted you to become, because it was complete mayhem. And, the people that are different are the ones that are going to change this world. The people that are just following the routine and the regimen will not. It takes people to be very strong and be very different and uneasy with just living a normal life that are going to help change the world for everybody. So that's why Steve Jobs, an incredible person, he wouldn't take no for an answer. You know, he even got fired from his own company, but he went on to prove that he could make a better life. And you know, he has some of the greatest quotes I've read in a long time. And it's basically about being different is very important, and not being the same is probably the strongest thing you can do.
Yeah, you try not to be. A lot of people nowadays, like you're saying, are a lot of yes people, and I'd rather have people. When I talk to different people doing just my internet show here, I tell people, give me your true opinion. If there's something I'm doing on here you don't like, I'd rather be honest with me, and I'll change it. You know, something that I think's cool I'm doing, it might not be cool, or it might not be coming out the way I think it should be. I'd rather people tell me to, you know, give me the not criticism, but what is it? Creative, I don't know. I got brain farts tonight. But I'd rather just someone be honest with me than just be a yes person. Oh, yes, that's awesome. Yes, this is great, you know. And there's a lot of people in the world like that nowadays.
Well, to be very honest with you, people that are, you know, can adapt to the normal 9 to 5 and all that, really are a lot better off than the artist, so to speak. Because the artist, when he wakes up, he can't deal with the real world. He can't deal with anything that's normal, and he'll fight it to the death. And if he's lucky enough, he can make some kind of living from his craft of being different, whether you're inventing something, writing, painting, filming, acting, whatever it may be, or even just, you know, going out, which is beautiful, to help other people adapt with it, people that are mentally ill, children that have been abused, all that great stuff. So my hat's always off to anybody that can sit in traffic for 2 hours and then work 9 to 5, because I couldn't do that. Not that I didn't want to do it, I just couldn't do it, and I just felt that I needed to come into the studio, which me and Phil's been in the studio since we were basically 13 years old, in a very dark studio, creating. We're basically creating to shovel our way out.
Now, you guys, you do all your own music too, right? You do everything.
Yes, I'm actually sitting in the studio now. I posted some pictures and some music on Facebook the other night that we're just writing the choir parts for the Children of the Grave 2. But yeah, we do all our own music, we do our own editing, we do our own filming, we do the wardrobe, we do everything actually. So yeah.
So that's just cool that you just got it all going on there, and man, that's what I'd say. I envy you to have the time and the energy to do all this, plus all the events that you and your brother go to talk with people and that.
Yeah, we're doing a lot more next year, I think. Events. I know that Keith, Age, and I and Philip are going to do quite a few events together, some big ones. And I know that we have a lot of stuff they want to play with the Children of the Grave coming out. So everybody's waiting. Please be patient. It will be out in January. Unfortunately, we did get off schedule, mostly for the fact that we did find the urgency to, which I'm sure everybody understands, that I really needed to take some time off with my son Gabriel. Last time I was able to see him was 7 months ago, and that's basically due to the fact that I've just got divorced, and I'm on the road a lot and filming, and also, working with an ex is not the easiest thing to do. So, but I saw him at Easter last year in New Orleans. I brought him down to New Orleans, and we hung out for 2 weeks down in New Orleans and had a great time. And before that was Los Angeles, and then this time now I will be seeing him for 3 weeks, and I love to bond with him because he will inspire me quite a bit, and that'd be a beautiful inspiration.
Kids do inspire you, don't they?
They do, and so do animals. I noticed animals are very, because animals and children are not they're not biased in the bad way, so to speak. Their souls are completely open. They can tell you exactly how they feel either way. you know.
Yeah.
So it's like the truth coming out. So it's a big reality check when somebody comes up to you and of that nature and tells you, and that's beautiful. You can look in a dog's eyes and see right to its soul that it only wants love, and that's pretty much what it wants. So that's good. Old people the same way. The elderly is the same way. All they want to be is listened to and let them know that there's a story that they want to tell you that may help you make a decision that you need to make a decision in your life. And if you take the time to listen, you might learn.
Yeah, I learned something. I know I have a 4-year-old daughter, too. She's my youngest. And like you were saying, kids at that age are very honest. But I think it's awesome, though. They're almost, they haven't been programmed like a lot of us of do's and don'ts yet. So I think it's awesome the kids at that age are just so honest and frank about things. And you're like, oh, no, you just didn't say that.
I think one of the roughest, we're working on another show, Vampires, Voodoo and Vampires, and it was based on everything that we had done in New Orleans. We were there for a while filming, and we had interviewed quite a lot of voodoo practitioners, real vampires. I mean, the real deal, not the fake Twilight stuff. I mean, the real deal, which is very, very scary. They didn't sparkle, by the way, at all.
No
they
sparkling?
don't sparkle. No, they don't sparkle. But it was also a very scary ride because these people are very serious about what they do, and it doesn't seem to matter whether you believe in them or not. But the fact that they believe in themselves enough is somewhat dangerous. And we went through a lot. We did the Lola Ree story, which is the most haunted place in New Orleans. So if you know the Lola Ree house, it's pretty scary what happened. And then we also did Marie Laveau. We did some stuff on her, and amongst some other stuff. So, it's pretty twisted down there. It's an interesting place. There's a voodoo shop in every corner,
Now, what makes, like, when you decide to do a location for a documentary, do you guys, like, do your fans, do they give you, like, ideas? Or do you and your brother just go out and just decide, because of a history of a location, you're going to go do a documentary on it?
Either, but mostly we do everything for you. I mean, basically, our recent location, Hillary, if she's out there, say hello to Hillary. She helped us find a beautiful location and helped tell her story that she wanted to try and say of the place. It was gorgeous. It was sort of a Roman Catholic poorhouse, orphanage type place. It was incredible. It looked like it should be out of Gothic or England. It was so gorgeous, and no one really went into it. And we went into it. It's like all the floors were knocked out from the cellar. I mean, the attic had fallen to the fourth, to the third, to the second, to the first floor. So there's only a catwalk to walk around. It was pretty scary and creepy. We got some incredible evidence there. That's going to be in Children of the Grave too. So that worked out really well. So basically, we like any input. Who knows better than but you guys? You guys are on the front line. We're not like, satellite pushers, where we push the button from over here and don't get involved in the work. We listen to you guys and we come out. And if we think it's a story that needs to be told and it's very truly deep and can help, grow to the inspiration that we're all trying to do, we'll be out. We'll be out as soon as we can to help you film it and get it done. But fortunately, our schedule is getting so crazy. We're trying to do Civil War that we're working on right now, and that got put behind due to the red tape at the studios. They're like red taping us, and so we're slowing down on what we need to do. And unfortunately, some of the stuff we have to kind of wait for them, and some of the other stuff we just do by ourselves. So, it depends what we're doing. But if anybody's got a really good story, somebody's got really good evidence, somebody's got really good also newspapers, archives backing to prove that story really did exist. Not like somebody jumped out the window. There's no proof of it, you know what I mean? You got to have some kind of proof of it. And then if it's a really good story, well, we're on it.
That's cool. I got another question from the room. Rich wants to know about Touched by an Angel.
Touched by an Angel. I could think of my my girlfriend when I say that, actually. Um, Touched by an angel. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What
That's all the
rich
question.
means. What rich means by that. I'm sure I do. I've just probably forgotten the moment.
That's okay. I've been having those moments tonight. Hey, we all have them too with the crazy holiday season and that, you know.
Well, I mean, I think definitely be touched by an angel is a very important thing. I mean, it gives you the inspiration to keep going in this world of darkness and doom. I think that if we all need to believe and just treat each other right, you know, some of the areas that we're filming in St. Louis, some of the worst areas you could ever film, very dangerous. I mean, St. Louis is the murder capital of the United States. So it's very bad down here, but at the same time you walk with confidence and aura. People seem to just put on a positive note. And I like to think that that is, you know, going to help change what we're missing. So, you know.
Yeah, I think the question was mixed up. I have a lady here that's my moderator. She's sending me questions, but I just looked in the main chat room. Donna was asking. It was Donna asking, "Have you ever been touched by a ghost or a spirit?"
Oh, have I been touched by a ghost? Yes. Yes, I have. In fact, I was touched by one last night in the studio, and I know that for a fact because it's a feeling, and everybody knows it listening. Everybody knows it's an unexplainable feeling, and it's a feeling you can never, ever explain in the sense of what happened, because it feels like something you've never felt, because it feels like they reach right through you, but it's enough to make you send chills down your spine. But, yeah, I've been touched by ghosts in Waverly Sanatorium, and I've never been really, you know, violently attacked except for one time that I can't explain. And that was a time when we did the Haunted Boy, The Secret Diary of the Exorcist premiere theatrically in St. Louis last Halloween, which did really well. We sold out 2 shows theatrically down there of the movie, and I was staying in a old hotel downtown St. Louis. And I was staying, and then I started to fall, you know, drift off, and I started seeing my sheets pulled off, slowly being pulled down my bed. I didn't think much about them. I thought they maybe were just sliding, but they weren't like satin sheets or something that would just slide up the bed. It would have to have a tug. And go, this is really weird. And then I turned and I saw a shadow that looked like a hammerhead type shark kind of shadow.
Really?
Kind of like Hellboy. It's kind of like Hellboy, you know, with the sanded down horns, very, very prominent. And the next minute, I flew out of bed, and I freaked out. I mean, and it's never happened to me, but I freaked out. And then I jumped up, and I ran to get my camera with night vision, and I went back in bed and said, okay, if you're going to do this to me, fucker, I'm going to film you, you know what I mean? But I noticed on my foot, I had 3 scratches down my foot where they grabbed it. At that point, I was totally freaked out. The next morning, I went down to the lobby, and I said, anything ever happened in this room? Since 7 or 8. And it's in the Mayfair Hotel, I believe it is. He goes, yeah, that's where Al Capone's gang had murdered 8 people back in the Prohibition days. And I go, really? I said, I could have used that information a while ago, you know what I mean? That would have been really knowledgeable.
Would have been nice.
What happened to me. Yeah. So that was really freaky to me. And
Yeah.
I would put that in the corner of dark energy, a remnant of something tragic that happened that left basically an aura, like a smell of violence and tragedy, enough that it was being so oppressed that it lashed out. You see? It lashed out to get attention, to try to get some kind of closure. Of course, you know, we didn't investigate that room. We didn't do that. I actually left to Los Angeles the next day, but I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you're not really looking for something, and something finds you to try and get a message out.
Well, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't really, you know, we don't provoke, we don't do that. But maybe it's interesting that the only town that it happened in was St. Louis, where we were doing the Exorcist story. You see, so maybe that was the only kind of latch back that we got. I know it took us 3 months. I mean, for me alone, to read the real diary of The Exorcist, because it was so dark and
Yeah.
so evil, you know. I mean, a little boy doing the things, you know, that you would imagine that you saw in the movie The Exorcist, but a little bit more, you know, hardcore. The Exorcist is kindergarten compared to the real story. And us being the only people in the world filming inside the real boy's bedroom where he was possessed and half exorcised before they had to move him to the hospital because it was too violent and he was screaming too loud that the neighbors and the people couldn't stand it anymore, so they had to move him into the hospital. This is the house that we went into to investigate, the real exorcist bedroom.
See, that's
And
kinda-
that leaves a lasting lifetime impression on you.
Oh, I bet. Hey, just so you know, we're coming up on 10:30. I know you got things to do. There's a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Before I do the questions, I wanted to get in here. I saw on Facebook and your website, you guys for Christmas are promoting Christmas sale, I think it is. I got the banner right here. Hold on a second. For your movies. It's the Scary Tales.
Yes, the Brothers Boo's Scary Tales.
Yes.
It's like the Brothers Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah.
The Brothers Boo's Scary Tales. And basically we're letting 6 of our titles all go for $59. And that's a great deal. And you get an autographed picture of me and Phil in top hats and the old style clothing with it. And we're doing that. We started that on basically Black Friday, and we're letting that go all to January 1st, which is a great deal. So you basically get pretty much all of our titles for a very good price.
It's $59.99.
Yeah, $59.99 for 6 of our titles. That's pretty cool, and an autographed picture.
Yeah, I saw that.
There
I
you
got
go.
Yep, I got it right up here. The banner. So anyone looking for last minute Christmas presents, definitely get this one because these are anyone that's into the paranormal or are just into an awesome story with some paranormal evidence in that. Definitely check these out. I just wanted to get that in for you.
Yeah, they're about 90 minutes each. They're full of DVD extras and deleted scenes for whatever you didn't see in sci-fi. There's more stuff, and for anybody that's in the paranormal, and also people that are just getting into it, it's a really. I think I could be safe in saying it's very educational, and it's very inspirational, and it treats paranormal the way it needs to be treated, with respect and dignity and pride.
Yeah, that's definitely. I got people in there talking about it in the chat room right now. That'd be cool. Definitely. If you're looking for last minute birthday, Christmas presents, definitely check that out. You can go to your spooktv.com website to get that, right?
Yeah, www.spooked.com. It'll be the first thing on the right side of the page, and we're going to run that till January 1st, and then it will be, at that point, it won't be longer available. But, yeah, just go ahead and get it now where you can. We're running out of them, I'll have to tell you that. They're going pretty incredible as it is right now. But it's our way of, giving all you great people out there, our fans, family, friends, and Facebook people, everybody, a taste of everything we do at a really good price. And I guarantee you, nobody can really be disappointed with that. It's a really good holy grail of the paranormal, especially when you get the Exorcist story involved in that one as well. And also a new one, Soul Capture, the Native American haunted boarding schools, which is a pretty incredible story too.
Yeah, definitely. That's a very actually awesome deal for that many movies. Now, the couple questions I'm going to get to, and then we'll wrap it up because I know you're very busy, is Rich was wondering, well, actually, you already answered this. Rich was wondering when Children of the Grave 2 was coming out, and you had talked about that.
It should be around second or third week of January, and the reason we're holding it back is obviously because I needed some personal time for Gabriel, and also we have some new footage that we wanted to push in that we just filmed. That's incredible. Some of the best evidence you've ever seen. Basically, it's a film image shadow, in which basically a film image casts. If you do film imaging, it's a shadow that creates from the heat. A film image can create a shadow. So basically, when you watch a film image, you're not thinking very much because it's the shadow of the person of the film imagery. So you're thinking no problem, it's just a shadow. But then it gets weird when that shadow actually walks away from the person.
That's gonna be
That
cool.
gets trippy. That gets really trippy when the shadow actually walks up and walks away from the person. And we got that, and that's incredible.
That's gonna be
That's
awesome.
incredible.
And the other
Yeah.
question Rich wanted, or not question, but Rich said you better call him when you come into Miami.
Well, we're supposed to do the NAPTI show in Miami, actually, in January. I forgot what date's in January, but it's supposed to be in January. It's the TV show for the big industry in January. So it's going to be in Florida in January. So I'm not sure what dates they are, but I know that we're supposed to do that.
Well, he said you better look him up because he's a Miami man. So
No,
he can take
he
you to all the
knows
hot
that.
spots.
He knows that. He knows that. I love him to death. He knows that. I love all you guys to death. You guys have been very supportive and very great. We've all been through ups and downs together, and it means a lot to us that you still, that you're around to support our craft, and we try to give you what you guys want to see and what the respect that you deserve in the business that is fading into a complete mockery on television.
Yes.
So we try to keep the reality of it.
I agree with you 100% how some of the television is going, and what you guys are doing are really keeping it down to earth. And anyone that's never met Christopher, I got to meet him in Pensacola. He is the most down to earth, just relaxed person, just like, hey man, what's up? And it's just awesome hanging out. If you get a chance to hang out with him at any of the events he has coming out, definitely go out and meet him.
Well, thanks. Thanks. You should see me on Xanax if you think I'm laid back. Teasing.
Now, the last question I have is Steven wanted to know, when you film at locations, how long do you have to stay at some of these, like filming?
Well, I mean, Waverly, we actually filmed it off and on for 3 years. We actually stayed 18 hours a night for a week in the death tunnel, 18 hours a day. So, I mean, it depends. It depends how active it is. It depends, obviously how gracious the owners of the property is, and also how comfortable and uncomfortable the situation can get. And all you paranormal investigators would know what uncomfortable means when it gets that way, meaning that it's starting to invade your space to that your psyche cannot handle it anymore. There's many locations that I feel sick when I get there, and I need to get out because the feeling of dread is there. The feeling of oppression, just that terrible feeling, and you just can't. The stronger it is, the more feeling of sickness you feel, and you just feel like you just can't handle it. You're going to blow up, and of course, it's going to make you want to get out. Even if you could just run outside and get air, then okay, now I got to go back in and do my job, which is capture what we're trying to get here. And the We've Secret House and the Possessed was very like that, as well as the Exorcist House had a very strange feeling inside it.
So yeah, it just all depends on how much, just the situation of the location. So I hope that answered your question, Stephen. It's not like a regular investigation like we do, where it's only 4 hours. These guys are just doing it around the clock all the time. So, but I gotta tell you guys, I think you guys are doing an awesome job for representing the paranormal field by the way you do your documentaries. And I wish people would pay attention more and kind of follow in suit the way you do things, because I think it would help.
Well, unfortunately, just you understand, even though we're on the networks still are not really looking for honesty. And I hate to say that, but they really are looking for just sales. And that's where you start to stand. It's kind of like Nine Inch Nails when they bailed out of, they were with Interscope. And they wanted to keep doing what they believed their fans were. Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, Downward Spiral, and all that stuff being some of the best album ever done and some of the most incredible works ever done. He had to leave the label because he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do anymore, because he was being controlled. The more big he was getting, the more people he got involved. They started controlling him, and then started losing why you were even in the business to do it in the first place. Unfortunately, with anybody, if you become a sellout, you become a sellout. And we're not we're trying to stay clear of all that stuff.
Well, so far you guys are on the right path, and I'm telling you, you're doing an awesome job. Just keep going the same path.
Thank you.
And just follow what it is. You know what the difference with you and other people? You have a passion for this. When people have a passion for something, they don't let other things get in the way of their passion. And I think that's what a lot of people miss in this field now. A lot of people aren't in it for the right reason. And I feel bad for the people. I'm in this field because I have a passion for it. A lot of people know in the chat room, my first daughter passed away of heart disease. And my passion...
Sorry.
You know what? Like I said earlier, it's been 16 years. There has to be at some point there has to be a reason why she was taken at an early age. And I have 4 beautiful children now. I can't ask for nothing more. And they're healthy and everything. But my passion behind the paranormal field is, well, first trying to educate myself. And second is, I'm hoping someday someone does come up with some type of equipment that you can actually communicate with the other side. That, you know, with your loved ones, maybe get, not like we're talking, but maybe get a definite message where there's no question that someone just, you know, your loved one just answered your question. You know what I mean?
Well, we lost our mom to ovarian cancer many years back. I don't even remember. It's something I don't even try to remember. To this day, we're still trying to figure out why that happened. She was a little China doll, and she got basically the black disease, you know, the disease of death. It's hard. It was terrible. And then our father died 5 years later of basically a broken heart because he was married to my mom for 45 years. So it was that's been very painful and very hard to deal with. We were making films at the time. I remember we fired everybody the day that they passed away. It was very hard to deal with, but we made our destruction into creation. You know, when things go wrong, you've got to turn, you know, that destruction into creation. Don't keep it destructing.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to go down all the way. And you've got to find something just to hold on to, you know?
Yeah, that's how I am. When people ask me, you know, like, oh, how can you still go on? I'm like, you know what? I still have questions of why it happened, but I have 4 beautiful children now, and they're healthy. And I know people that when I went to a support group after our daughter passed away, some of these people never had another kid. You know, they've lost a couple kids, and they never had what me and my wife have now. So I have to be thankful for that. That's why I told you, you know, I don't look at negative. I look at positive. There has to be a reason why. And I probably won't find out until, you know, I meet my maker. So I kind of just figure I'm not going to answer right now, so there's no reason beating myself up trying to figure out why. You know?
Well, you know what? The main thing to really everybody needs to figure out and try to understand is there's a reason for every single person to be born in this planet. And you need to find out what your gift that you can give to the world or to someone else, not take. You're there to make someone else's life or the world a better place. You're not there just to you know, flow by and let it, you know, live on off everybody else's accomplishments. So everybody has an accomplishment to give. The only reason you get off track is when you start getting tempted by...
Yeah, the temptations are out there. I know that, but everyone, I always end my show with a little video.
Put another good notch to build a solid stone, and that's what we need to focus on.
Yes, definitely. That's why, like, when I end my show, I always have a little message: keep the positive energy flowing.
There you go.
You know.
Well, thank you, Bob, for having us. Okay.
This was awesome. I'm gonna let you go so you can get back to the studio. Well, you're actually sitting in the studio. You can actually. I'm
sitting in the studio, and I'm going to turn around right now and do music after this inspiring talk with all you beautiful people.
Hey, it was all on my side. I thank you for taking the time coming on tonight. You and your family, you have an awesome Christmas with your son. Be safe, and I'll talk to you on the flip side, 2012. All right?
You will, and bye-bye, everybody. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, and God bless, okay?
You have a good night, Christopher.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was an an excellent interview with Christopher. A lot of awesome information, a lot of insight of what his brother and him do with Spooked TV and their documentaries. I really appreciate Christopher coming on tonight, taking the time out, because I know they're under the gun to get some more footage and that done with Children of the Grave 2. And I wish him a Merry Christmas with his son, and be safe. And everyone else, I will see you next Sunday, December 11th, and we'll be having a Christmas party here, and you guys can meet the Paranormal Wavelength Investigator team. Gonna have different team members on here talking, telling you why they do what they do, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of Christmas stuff. I got some little Christmas videos I'm working on. So I thank everyone for coming out tonight, and you guys all have a safe week, and I'll see you on December 11th. And remember, keep the positive energy